Welcome to our adventure through time, where we uncover the stories of the most fascinating explorers and warriors from the past, the Vikings. Imagine setting sail across vast oceans with only the stars as your guide, discovering new lands and trading goods from far-off places. The Vikings did all this and more. They were not just fierce warriors. They were skilled sailors, clever traders, and bold adventurers who left their mark all around the world. Join us as we sail back in time to explore the incredible world of the Vikings, from their mysterious origins to their remarkable achievements. Let's dive into the saga of the Vikings and reveal the truths behind the legends. Origin of Vikings. The Vikings originated from what we now call Scandinavia, an area that includes modern-day countries like Norway, Denmark, and Sweden. Their story begins around the late 8th century, a period known as the Viking Age, which lasted until the 11th century. The name Viking itself comes from the Old Norse term Vikingur, which means pirate or raider, reflecting their reputation for conducting raids along coasts and rivers in Europe. But Vikings were more than just raiders. They were also explorers, traders, and settlers. The reasons behind their exploration and expansion are fascinating and varied. Some historians believe that it was due to overpopulation and a lack of farming land in their homeland, pushing them to look for new territories. Others suggest it was the lure of wealth and resources found in other parts of Europe that drove their expeditions. Additionally, internal power struggles and the desire for glory and adventure may have motivated Vikings to embark on their journeys. Social structure. Viking society was organized into a clear hierarchy, influencing almost every aspect of their lives, from their legal systems to their daily routines. At the top were the kings and jarls, who were the ruling class, owning the most land and wealth. Below them were the carls, or freemen, who were farmers, craftsmen, and traders. They made up the bulk of society and were the ones who could own land, participate in assemblies, and go on Viking raids. At the bottom were the thralls, or slaves, who were captured during raids or born into slavery. Thralls did the hardest work and had the fewest rights, but it was possible for them to gain their freedom under certain conditions. Women in Viking society held a relatively high status. They managed the household and family finances when their husbands were away on raids or trading expeditions. Women could own property, initiate divorces, and reclaim their dowries if their marriages ended. The social structure allowed Viking women more freedom and power than many other women of their time. Discovery and founding of cities. The Vikings, known for their exploration and settlement, embarked on voyages that led to the discovery and founding of cities across Europe and even beyond. Their ability to navigate vast oceans and rivers in their longships allowed them to reach distant lands, where they established new communities and trade networks. One of the most significant aspects of Viking exploration was their settlement in the British Isles. Vikings founded Ireland's first trading towns, including Dublin, Waterford, Wexford, Wicklow, and Limerick. These towns became centers for trade, both among Vikings and with the local populations. Dublin, in particular, emerged as a significant Viking settlement and played a crucial role in the Vikings' trade networks across the British Isles and beyond. The Vikings also ventured into France, where they established Normandy. The land was granted to a Viking chief named Rollo in exchange for protection against other Viking raiders. This agreement marked the beginning of Normandy's history, which would later play a vital role in European history, particularly during the Norman conquest of England in 1066. The settlement in Normandy showcases the Vikings' ability to adapt and integrate into the lands they explored, transitioning from raiders to rulers and traders. Further afield, Vikings reached the shores of North America, centuries before Columbus. Led by Leif Erikson, they established a temporary settlement at L'Anse aux Meadows in modern-day Newfoundland, Canada. This site is the only widely accepted evidence of Viking presence in North America, highlighting their far-reaching exploration capabilities. The settlement at L'Anse aux Meadows serves as a testament to the Vikings' adventurous spirit and their role in the history of transatlantic exploration. The Vikings' explorations and the founding of cities were not merely acts of conquest, but also efforts to find new trade routes and resources. Their settlements were crucial in the spread of culture, technology, and economic systems across medieval Europe. The impact of these Viking-founded cities is still evident today, with many of them growing into major modern towns and cities, continuing to thrive as centers of commerce and culture. Viking ships. The success of Viking voyages can largely be attributed to their advanced shipbuilding skills. Viking ships, particularly the longships, were engineering marvels of their time. These ships were designed for speed, agility, and versatility, allowing Vikings to navigate not only the open sea, but also shallow rivers and estuaries. The long ship's design, with a shallow draft and symmetrical ends, meant it could easily land on beaches, enabling Vikings to launch surprise raids. Viking shipbuilding evolved over centuries, with early boats powered by oars and later versions equipped with sails. The development of the keel, a structural beam running along the bottom of the ship, was crucial for stability and steering, making long voyages across the stormy North Sea and the Atlantic Ocean possible. These ships were not just used for raiding, they were also essential for trade and exploration, carrying Vikings to distant lands and enabling them to establish trade routes and colonies far from their homeland. The craftsmanship of Viking ships was so advanced that they remain a symbol of the Viking Age's achievements in navigation and exploration. The construction of these vessels, detailed in various archaeological finds, shows the importance of the sea in Viking culture and how it enabled them to become some of the most prolific explorers of the medieval period. Viking Warfare. Viking warfare was not just about fighting, it was a way of life that involved strategy, honor, and a strong belief in fate. The Vikings were known for their sudden raids, where they used their fast ships to attack coastal towns and monasteries with little warning. They believed in a warrior culture, where dying bravely in battle could earn them a place in Valhalla, a magnificent hall where they would feast and fight until the end of the world. Their weapons were simple but effective, including swords, axes, spears, and bows. Shields and helmets were crucial for protection. Vikings did not wear much armor, but they were quick and skilled fighters. They fought in close formation, using their shields to create a wall against their enemies. This tactic, known as the shield wall, was one of their key strategies in battle. Vikings also fought for land and wealth, not just for glory. As they ventured further from Scandinavia, they sought to control new territories and establish settlements. This led to larger military campaigns, not just quick raids. They began to challenge powerful kingdoms, such as England and France, and even establish their rule in some regions. Despite their fierce reputation, Vikings were also practical. They made agreements and treaties when it suited them. For example, the French king gave them land in Normandy to stop their raids. Over time, as they settled in new lands, their ways of warfare blended with those of the local populations. In Viking society, everyone could be a warrior, including women. Stories and archaeological finds suggest that some women fought alongside men, although this is still debated by historians. Norse Mythology. Norse mythology is a collection of stories that were shared among the North Germanic peoples. These myths encompass a wide range of deities, beings, and heroes, all existing within a universe composed of 9 worlds, centered around the sacred tree, Yggdrasil. The mythology includes a creation story where the world is formed from the body of the primordial giant, Ymir. The gods Odin, Vili, and Ve created the earth from his flesh, the sky from his skull, mountains from his bones, and the sea from his blood. The first humans, Ask and Embla, were then created from 2 pieces of wood. Among the gods, the Aesir and the Vanir are 2 main families, with the Aesir being associated with war and governance, and the Vanir with fertility and nature. Important gods include Odin, the chief of the Aesir known for wisdom in war, and Thor, the god of thunder and battle. Other notable deities are Freya, the goddess of love and fertility, and Loki, a trickster god with the ability to shapeshift. One of the most significant events in Norse mythology is Ragnarok, often misunderstood as the end of the world. It is actually the end of the current world order, leading to the death of many gods, but also to the rebirth of the world and the emergence of a new generation of gods and humans. This cycle signifies not just an ending, but a renewal. Viking mythology also delves into the spiritual and the afterlife, describing various realms where gods and beings reside. These realms include Asgard, the home of the Aesir, Midgard, the world of humans, and Jotunheim, the land of the giants. The mythology is rich with tales of heroism, betrayal, and the struggle between order and chaos. The sources of our knowledge of Norse mythology primarily come from the poetic and prose Eddas, collections of poems and stories compiled in Iceland during the Middle Ages. These texts are crucial for understanding the beliefs, culture, and societal norms of the Viking Age. Norse mythology continues to influence modern culture, literature, and even religious practices among those who follow neo-pagan traditions, showcasing its enduring appeal and significance. And there we have it, an epic journey through the world of the Vikings. We've sailed across vast seas, walked through newly founded cities, and stood shoulder to shoulder with the fiercest warriors of the past. The Vikings were not just raiders and warriors. They were explorers, settlers, and innovators who left a lasting impact on the world. But our voyage doesn't end here. If you've enjoyed this journey through time and want to explore more incredible stories from history, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed sailing with the Vikings today, and share it with your fellow history enthusiasts. Your support helps us bring more adventures to life. Until next time, keep exploring, and may your curiosity always lead you to new horizons. See you next time.